WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. A 7th case of the coronavirus has been confirmed in the United States, and that has medical professionals across the country on high alert. While no cases have been detected in Mississippi, state health officials are keeping their guard up and making plans. Courtney Ann Jackson has the latest.
Watching and waiting.
I do think that it's very likely that we will have people come to Mississippi who will be either suspects for this new coronavirus or may even have the new coronavirus, potentially in the very near future.
Because of that, the responsibility of preparing falls less on you and more on the healthcare providers.
Right now, we feel like the risk is low to the general public. It's important to remember that to get this virus, you have to be exposed to it.
Hospitals and doctors' offices would be on the front lines of tackling that issue. The University of Mississippi Medical Center has been doing travel screenings for years, and they've updated that since the coronavirus outbreak.
Every patient who comes into the hospital through the emergency department or the outpatient facility will be asked whether they have traveled internationally or not, and if they do say that they went to China and had been to Wuhan and having any symptoms like fever or cough or shortness of breath, then we would immediately alert the provider.
And they know the protocol they would follow.
In addition to our negative airflow isolation rooms, we would put patients in masks to take them to those rooms. We have all of the appropriate personal protective equipment for the staff to wear to protect themselves.
That includes gowns, gloves, mask, and eye protection. The Department of Health advises that anyone who believes they may have the coronavirus first call their provider before just showing up. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
The 2 Pickens County schools are set to reopen Monday after the flu forces a shutdown. The schools were closed yesterday and today after a flu outbreak sidelined a large number of students. According to the Associated Press, the principal at Pickens County High School reported 70 students went home sick with flu symptoms on Wednesday. Teachers and other staff spent Thursday mopping floors and wiping down desks, lockers, and other surfaces to disinfect the school. Schools all across the state have been hit hard by the flu in the past week.
And in West Alabama right now, a live view at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. We are at 51 degrees. We have seen a few light showers here in the West Alabama, also across northeastern Mississippi too. Pretty light, pretty uneventful here, but we do have a little bit of rain action in some spots. Temperatures really haven't budged. We are still around 50 in Columbus and Tupelo. Some of you still in the mid 40s. Worst case scenario tonight, probably mid 40s, maybe low 40s. We're mostly cloudy as we start out. Here's Izzy, our first alert forecast for tonight. Mostly cloudy at noon tomorrow, but we will gradually thin things out. We should be back into the mid 50s and we should become clearer tomorrow evening. As we look ahead, more sun on Sunday. We start to warm things up, and that means a chance for some storms and some heavier rain next week. We'll have all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. Well, as the clock struck midnight in Brussels, the UK's exit from the European Union finally became official. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner reports from London, where Brexit is now a done deal.
Fireworks welcomed a new chapter for the UK with its official exit from the European Union.
We've obeyed the will of the people. We've taken back the tools of self-government.
The split became official at midnight in Brussels, where European Union leaders warned the UK that ending its half-century of membership will bring a sad new chapter.
Our experience has taught us that strength does not lie in splendid isolation, but in our unique union.
British lawmakers disagreed.
Today we celebrate the beginning of our independence, our ability to control our own laws, our own trade deals, our own borders.
Outside Parliament, thousands have gathered to ring in Brexit. Many of them tell us it's the party of their lifetime.
I've waited so long for this. It's the most exciting day in my life ever.
Voters said yes to Brexit as a way to reclaim Britain's sovereignty and take control of immigration rules. But it took 3.5 years to agree on terms. And skirmishes like this one show the population is still bitterly divided.
Business is going to suffer. It's going to happen. So sooner or later, these people will find that out.
The country now enters a transition period until the end of the year. During that time, the UK will be hashing out new agreements on trade and security, which could mean the fighting is far from over. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, London.
It doesn't look like the impeachment trial of President Trump will wrap up this weekend, but a crucial vote does go the president's way. CBS's Nancy Cordes has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Alexander.
The senators voted from their desks one by one.
The yeas are 49. The nays are 51. The motion is not agreed to.
House impeachment managers had cited the latest Bolton bombshell in a last-ditch plea for witnesses.
Do you want your place in history to be, let's hear the truth, or that we don't want to hear it?
But no votes from two key Republicans ensured that 4 witnesses blocked from talking by the White House will not be subpoenaed.
You've got a lot of evidence already.
The vote comes even as some Senate Republicans now concede that the House managers have the facts right. The president withheld U.S. aid, at least in part, to pressure Ukraine to investigate the Bidens.
Do you view it as at least a partial victory that you have a Republican like Lamar Alexander saying you proved it?
He should have done the right thing and voted for witnesses and documents.
But Alexander says he will vote to acquit, as will Florida Republican Marco Rubio, who said today that just because actions meet a standard of impeachment does not mean it is in the best interest of the country to remove a president from office.
If we acquit this president, what's to stop him from doing something worse?
The New York Times reported today that one of the president's lead attorneys, Pat Cipollone, may have been a witness to the pressure campaign himself. That's according to former National Security Advisor John Bolton, whose upcoming book describes a meeting in the Oval Office last May.
So here you have the president saying John Bolton is not telling the truth. Let's find out.
The two sides appear to be heading toward an agreement that would set up closing arguments first thing next week, and then time for senators to give speeches on the floor announcing how they will vote. The final vote would then come on Wednesday, one day after the president's State of the Union address. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Tonight, senators did come to an agreement to hold those closing arguments Monday and a final vote Wednesday. Mississippi Senators Roger Wicker and Cindy Hyde-Smith, along with Alabama's Richard Shelby, voted against calling more witnesses. Well, Groundhog Day is right around the corner. Keith, are we looking like good news, bad news? What we got going on?
Well, for the groundhog up in Pennsylvania, well, some rain, some snow, some clouds. No shadow is likely because of those clouds, and that, in theory, means an early spring. For us on Sunday, we will have a little taste of spring fever. I'll let you know what I mean by that coming up after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Late night on a Friday, we, of course, are looking towards the weekend, just a few hours away. We do have some showers here, Amory and Smithville, just east of Fulton, also towards Hamilton, Alabama. We've seen some rain in Sulligent and Vernon, but this is fairly light nuisance activity out there right now. Let's talk about these rainy days in January in Tupelo and Columbus. About half of the month had days with measurable rainfall. Let's compare that to Seattle. 28 out of 31 days this month having rain in Seattle. Very, very wet out there, wet down here as well. A slight chance for a shower tonight. We have a little bit of rain out there at this point, but a slight chance for a shower tomorrow still. But the better opportunities will come Tuesday into Wednesday. And this is just one quick solution here, 1 to several inches of rain possible. And we'll refine this as we get a little bit closer once we get past the weekend. And we also have to toss out the chance for some strong storms here Tuesday into Wednesday. The Storm Prediction Center broad brushing the opportunity here as we get into those days, but we'll, of course, fine-tune things later on. Let's go into South Florida right now. There's actually a severe thunderstorm warning right here, including the Miami metro area. This goes until 11:45. I believe that is Eastern time. And you can see this big line of storms moving through parts of South Florida. And, of course, folks gathering down there for that big football game on Sunday. For us, we do have some cloud cover out there right now. You certainly know it. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off with a lot of cloud cover somewhere in the 40s, back into the low 50s by midday. And during the afternoon and evening, a quick clearing trend from west to east. Highs will be somewhere in the mid-50s, we think. And let's just punch ahead into Sunday morning, a clear and cold start, mid-30s. But as we get into your Sunday, Look at this. This is the spring fever we were talking about. Mid to upper 60s here, warmer 70s back to the west, and it will be a pretty mild start to February overall. So tomorrow morning we'll have some clouds around and some breaks, but probably more clouds than breaks, and then the clouds will move on through during the course of the day, and look at that. Just like a miracle, a lot of sunshine here for our Sunday. Now, next week, we mentioned this Tuesday and Wednesday, a cold front comes on in, some heavy rain potential. A few strong storms can't be ruled out, but ahead of it, we stay very spring-like with those 60s and 70s. So let's go to your AccuWeather 70 forecast and show you what we're talking about here. 55 tomorrow, 36 tomorrow night, 68 on Sunday. A little dose of spring fever for us. Clouds increase, but still very nice on Monday. Cash 68. Still warm Tuesday and Wednesday with those storms and showers possible before we'll cool things down by Thursday and Friday.
Gotcha. Well, Keith, I just looked it up, and Groundhog Day started in 1887.
It's been happening for a while here, but the groundhog, let's just say, doesn't really have a lot of success.
I know, but why would we do it for so long?
It's just fun. Fun times for folks up there.
Just a tradition, I guess.
That's right.
I hope so. All right, well, coming up, Tupelo students come together to remember a friend taken too soon. We look at how they're dealing with that loss when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 p.m. with Cash Matlock.
Welcome back, everyone. Hundreds attend a time of prayer honoring the life of a 17-year-old who was killed earlier this week in Tupelo. 17-year-old Tierra Dancer was gunned down Tuesday evening. She was with a group of people watching a fight in the Haven Acres neighborhood. Allie Martin was at the prayer rally at Tupelo High School and has more.
Tierra Dancer graduated from Tupelo High School in December and was planning on walking with her class of 2020 during graduation ceremonies in May.
One thing I do know about Tierra knew where she was going. And I want all of you to know where you're going.
Many of her classmates, friends, teachers, and those who didn't even know her showed up for the time of prayer organized by the Tupelo High School chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
This Friday we decided that instead of doing our usual FCA, we would hold a prayer rally for this whole situation, to bring our community together and to show that we trust God even in tragedies, that something good can come out of it, that He has a plan, and that we're going to trust Him with that.
FCA members read scripture verses.
I'll be reading Nahum verse 1 and 7. It's, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in Him."
Pastors and counselors encouraged young people in the overflow crowd to not seek vengeance, but instead find ways to help one another deal with the tragic events that claimed Tierra's life.
My main message I wanted the young people to hear was that sometimes in tragedies, they may take an approach that life is short, so I'm just going to live it without regard. And I really want to challenge them to really actually reverse that thinking and think about living life more intentionally, and to really understand that they are so necessary, that they do have purpose.
I was trying to tell them that Tierra Dancer would love for them to go on with their lives and be productive citizens in the United States, and also to hold their head up and move forward, and to cherish and remember her life by doing something positive, and also supporting one another.
Pastor Parks, along with other clergy and civic leaders, are planning a community awareness rally here at Gumtree Park. That will take place the last Saturday in February. Pastor Parks says the hope and prayer is the rally will spark discussion and action on issues such as parental involvement in the lives of teenagers, along with the entertainment and social media habits of young people. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Funeral arrangements for Tierra Dancer are incomplete. N.L. Jones Funeral Directors is handling the service. Well, is there anything better than high school rivalry hoops? The answer is no. We've got highlights from the hardwood after the break.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The 9th-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs in a close one against the Auburn Tigers at home Thursday night. Auburn ranks 13 out of 14 teams in the SEC Conference standings currently, and just one win to the team's name. Yet Auburn led the Bulldogs until midway through the third quarter. However, MSU still able to come away with the win, 78-73 for the 7th SEC victory. MSU head coach Vic Schaefer and his staff just happy to have another win in the books.
We do have a young group. It's unlike the last 3 years. And so, you know, as I met with my staff last night after we had our media, it wasn't perfect. We fought all the way. We got a win in the SEC. We're 7-1. We're 19-3. We're 8th or 9th ranked team in the country. Go home. Let's get up tomorrow and let's go back to work.
Friday Night Lights take to the hardwood. Columbus hosting New Hope in girls action. Third quarter, Myra King pulls up from deep. Crowner, she gets the three. New Hope trailing 33-24. Early in the fourth, Falcons with the ball next. Charity Yates takes the feed. On the inside, pops up, gets it to go. Columbus leading 37-26. Under 4 minutes to go, Falcons' Anaya Sadler with the robbery takes it all the way to the cup, right to the hoop. The Falcons able to come away with the win. Columbus topping New Hope 49-33. Manatee taking on Strayhorn. Lady Mustangs honoring McKinley Montgomery for 2,000 career points. Fourth quarter, off the fast break, the bank shot is good. Lady Mustangs up 67-24. Later, off the inbounds pass, Kaylee Brooke Hamblin gets the ball, hits the mid-range J. Lady Mustangs up 69-24. Then for Strayhorn, the inbounds pass gets to Brianna Yount, who hits the jumper. Manatee going on to get the big win, though. In this one, they come away 69-30 against Strayhorn. Continuing in girls action, Boonville hosting Itawamba AHS. Third quarter, Indians with the steal. Zakiah Adams goes for the layup, misses. Delia Shumper on the rebound in the putback. Indians up 41-35. Fourth quarter, Arlena Rogers for the Blue Devils with the soft touch and into the net. Makes it a 41-38 lead. And back the other way, Itawamba knocking down the hot hand shot. Indians go up 46-38. Boonville coming away with the win, 56-52, the final against Itawamba. Let's run it back with the boys. New Hope getting ready to take on Columbus in some rivalry action mid-first. Trojans Jalen Smith with the steal in transition and the finish at the rim. New Hope trailing 11-10. First winding down, Willie Young putting the floater up high, banged off the rim. Falcons leading 15-12. And Trojans with the ball mid-second quarter. All Maddox driving the baseline, the layup off the glass. New Hope takes the 36-25 lead at halftime, and the Trojans never look back. They get the win 75-51, improving to 20-1 on the season. Wow. Then some more action. The Seminoles taking on Baldwin. Third quarter, Smithville ahead. Baldwin's Gabe Richardson gets the steal, hits the break, makes the layup. Bearcats trail 30-22. Again, defense leads to offense. Jacoby Williams throws it ahead to Richardson, dumps it off to Timothy Scales for the finish. Baldwin on a run. Seminoles answering right back. Carrie Standifer to Aiden Casey to Blake Williams. Finds Chandler Woodham at the bucket. Smithville goes up 34-28, and they go on to win the game, locking up the 2 seed in Division 2-1A. Smithville 50, Baldwin 46 your final. And Boonville boys hosting Itawamba. Blue Devils strike first. Trey McKinley with the steal and the finish at the rim. Look at that action. The and one. Boonville up 3-0. Next possession, Indians' Deion Shells from the short corner makes it a 3-2 ball game. Blue Devils not going anywhere. Caden Prestige from downtown gets it to go, and the Indians come out victorious 63-57. Well, On the pitch, the city of Meridian will soon be welcoming two of the best young soccer players Northeast Mississippi has to offer. Over in Caledonia, Fed midfielder Claire Benson and midfielder forward Clara Allen signing to continue their playing careers at Meridian Community College. Despite 3 different coaching regimes at Caledonia in the last 4 years, with the help of the duo, the Feds have advanced to the second round of the state playoffs. In Cash, I was telling Andrea this earlier, but you probably wouldn't believe these two have been playing together since they were 6 years old.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And fun fact, I played soccer in high school.
Oh, wow, okay, so the humble brag right
shockingly was never asked to sign with anyone.
Not everything is about you. So.
Right. Well, still to come, Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson has a last look at our forecast. You're watching WCBI News at 10.
But those will clear out. Sunday's looking very nice. We'll start to warm things up, flirting with 70 next week, and a chance for more rain and storms Tuesday into Wednesday.
Flirting with 70, that sounds good.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday looking very nice.
Yeah.
Except for the rain, of course.
Well, minus that, of course, but at least it will be mild.
That's true.
If you like that kind of stuff.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.